this episode of Swimming with Sharks, Kevin J. Dean is joined by Hao Sheng, founder of Expertise AI and former Google Conversational AI lead. They dive deep into the reliability time horizon, the metric that defines how long an AI can operate independently before needing human intervention. From the evolution of natural language processing to the rise of physical AI like Waymo and Tesla, Hao explains how we are moving toward a world of AI-native organizations. We also explore the future of SaaS, why relationship-driven roles like sales and CEOs are safe for now, and how AI-generated music is already topping the charts. Let's dive in.
All right. I am so excited to have you here, Hal, on the show today. Super excited to talk to you and super excited to geek out. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself so that the audience understands your background and what you've been doing lately so that they can follow up with this conversation.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kevin. So my name is Hao. So I have been a software engineer for the past 10 years, for especially in the field of conversational AI. Started my career in Google, leading the conversational AI team that helps like Fortune 500 company to implement in their contact center. And then went into a smaller startup where I was leading the agentic effort that helps, although still Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 companies to automate their sales, support, leveraging the AI. In 2023, I started my company. First, we called Chat Simple. Now we rebranded to Expertise AI. Where we focus is the website and the agent assist. The website, it's like putting an AI agent onto your website that helps you to do the conversion from the website visitor to qualified leads. For assist, we are focusing on AE, where AE would get this personalized agent that does all their mundane work, because 80% of their work are very mundane, very boring kind of work, like update CRM, follow up email, doing account research, prospecting. These are the things like AE doesn't want them to do. They want to build a relationship. They want to talk like me and Kevin. So that is the solution that helped them to escape from there and then be the best, nanny, be the best assistant, executive assistant to these account executives.
Yeah, I love that, Hal. What's interesting, and I find this really crazy. 10 years ago, we wrote a article on our blog post about natural language processing, which was an earlier form of AI in the way that it evaluates language. And now, where we are today, it's completely changed, right? So we're a long ways away from what AI used to be a long time ago. But what I'm super excited is to talk to you about the future. What do you think the future is looking like? A lot of people, they're seeing what AI can do, but you and I who are doing this every single day have an even further out view. What are you seeing?
Yeah, if I look back 10 years ago, I was starting my first conversational AI related company. At the time, we were using like rule based. Essentially, if they say A, then do B. It's not even natural language, it's just like a multiple choice. Then further a bit along, like at Google Dialogflow, I was working on like um, intent matching. Like we use classifier, multi-head classifier to classify what you're saying and then map that into intent and then generate proper response. Fast forward to today, like we are cross the large language model getting into like agentic application, agentic, um, even huge model, even bigger language model that able to execute on tasks. So if we look at just the past few years, how AI has been progressing, we I love to use a word called reliability time horizon. It's
Hmm.
essentially how long can you expect AI to work reliably on its own without human intervention or correction? So if we look at uh, maybe the past 3 years in 2023, AI was hallucinating. Like even on the most simple answer, it was hallucinating. So reliability time horizon may be a few seconds. Getting into 2024, we start seeing AI workflows. Some workflow may take, or research may take a minute or 2 minutes to be done, where AI can reliably operate for a minute or two. Then entering 2025, we see application like Cursor, Cloud Code, able to take on hours of tasks, like equivalent to a software engineer, and work on its own for half an hour, and then come back with very reliable, high quality code and high quality applications. So the reliability time horizon goes from a couple seconds to a couple minutes to an hour. Now we are seeing application like trying to do it even for much longer. So I think this trend is going to continue. We'll probably see AI can independently work for a day, 2 days, a year, a month, a year, even longer. So as these times goes, let's say AI now can work on its own for years. What do you think AI would trying to create? Um, I think it's probably something similar to human organizations where it's like companies, non-for-profit that focus on a goal that cannot be achieved in 1 year or 1 month, that can only be achieved in 10 years, 15 years. So we will see these kind of organization that are not only AI native, but run by AI start to form. That's where I think get very exciting, where AI can have its own goal for the next 10 years.
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy to think about, but not far off. Not far off at all. But while you and I are seeing these things day in and day out, and we can see where it's heading, there's still a lot of people who have trust issues with AI. Why do you think people have trust issues, and what have you seen that helps people get over those trust issues?
Yeah, this is not uncommon. Even for the most AI forward engineers, their perspective has been changed over and over again in the past year. So lots of software engineer that I know, a year ago they would say, "Oh, AI is good in complete the code. AI is good in writing like templated code, boilerplate code. But when it comes to like some logic, some implementation, some architecture, I cannot believe it." Then over time, their perspective starts shifting. And as AI getting stronger and stronger, they're like, "Oh, maybe I can delegate this file to the AI." Over time, they're like, "Oh, maybe I can even delegate the entire project to the AI." So this shift comes from the advancement of AI capability, and they are able to try it out in the first-hand experience the magical moment. So I think lots of times is because when we talk about time horizon, people before were like AI were hallucinating. I cannot trust it. Now people don't talk about hallucination as much. Now people now talk about how long can it reliably run without my supervisions. Uh, Two parts help. One is uh, actively trying out the latest AI progress. For example, this weekend I was just trying out cloud design, and get really amazed by its capability.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, okay, AI can oh, a step further than I think, and then I can trust it a bit more. First is dare to try it. Second is wait until AI gets even more and more powerful. So if AI can, let's say, run a company, you definitely don't think AI. You definitely would trust AI for some very simple business advice, let's say. So it's, I think, a combination of time. People would shift their opinion and actually trying out the latest and the greatest advancement in AI, that will both help people to realize what's the boundary of the existing AI.
So I think that that's awesome to think about. It's, I love how you're thinking about, the time trust continuum and how that's so important. And I also think that it's interesting how people are starting to think about AI. But I think about it maybe from a different perspective. Um, some people just think of AI as being your LLM programs like your Claude and your Chat GPT. Like, are those the types of things that you're talking about when it comes to AI solutions, or are there more things out there that companies or people should be thinking about when they're looking to implement AI based solutions? Are we saying, oh, just go get Claude Code and you can have it do run your company, or is there more involved to that?
That's a very good question. Like, where is the AI application going to reach, and what's the boundary of AI? I think one big one that's we are have lots of anticipation is the physical AI, where AI can, I hope, wash my laundry, cook me meals,
Yeah,
grab me like the deliveries, right? Like do all these physical AI. Definitely, autonomous driving is much more mature. So I
yeah,
was taking Waymo in San Francisco. It feels safe,
yeah, it
uh,
does.
feels safe and feels reliable. I That type of AI is a physical AI in physical world is start we start seeing the sign of early adoption. We know Tesla is deploying in Houston and Austin, in Texas, right? Like more and more city have these autonomous vehicle. The other one is more on the virtual side.
Hmm.
I think, but I do think the boundary may be just type of AI agent that can do lots of human work, not necessarily cloud code, but often make an analogy where AI agent is compared to last generation of SaaS and software. So when you think about cooking, right? AI, you in the kitchen you have fridge, you have stove, you have microwave, you have blender, you have lots of appliance.
Right.
Let's think these like software. They does one function really well, and only do that function. If let's say you have a fridge that also wash your ingredient, cut them, cook them, that fridge would look very bulky. It would look like not like a fridge. I cannot
Right.
imagine a fridge can
Yeah.
do these. As human being, I still have to take out the food from the fridge, cut them, prepare them, cook them, plate them, and then serve them. So all these are human does it, despite we have very good tools or appliance.
Yep.
AI agent is more like you hiring a nanny.
Mm.
It comes in, say, okay, I can cook a meal. You don't have to say like, okay, do I teach you about these and that, right? Like you just tell them, okay, I want to be less salty.
Yeah.
I want to eat uh, I want to eat clawfish.
Yeah.
I want to like you can tell them and they are
And they'll
intelligent.
go make it. They'll go do it. Yeah.
They do it to your liking. So I think that's the fundamental difference. One is AI agent and software. However, when you say, "Oh, are there nanny that's better on cooking?" I don't need someone who wash my clothes, fold my clothes very well, but I need someone who cooks very well. Or the opposite, I need someone who fold my clothes perfectly, keep my home pristine, right? Like so, each agent may have its own specialties.
Mm-hmm.
Cloud code is in coding. Maybe what we are building is in the field of sales, B2B sales specifically, right? I think agent would have its specialties and can be customized, can be tailor-made for a specific company. So I think beyond Cloud Code, ChatGPT, yes, there are a swarm of other agents that specialize in other specific task or specific job, and can can outperform potentially Cloud Code and ChatGPT on these tasks. So that's worth exploring as well.
Yeah, I love that analogy. I think it's awesome. And I think in my mind, like, you know, yeah, I love the way that you explain that, because like if I go out and I hire a specialized chef, they know exactly what to do. I don't have to teach them. But like I think like if I just hire somebody and say, "Hey, I'm going to teach you how to cook and I'm going to teach you all that stuff," it takes a lot more time. And to me, that's like Claude code, right? I've got to tell Claude, "Hey, I want somebody who can cook and can do these things," and I've got to give it all the instructions. Where if I just went out and hired a chef who already knew those things, like I'm up and running and I'm in a better position. That makes sense to you?
Yeah, exactly. This specialization is very
Yeah.
important. Nowadays, it's I think even more important in the AGI time or AI time, agent time, and like the intelligence that fills the gap between all the appliance. That's very important because you don't need to teach them every time in the future how they do things.
So, um, it's funny. I've got little kids, and one of the shows that they like is Ratatouille. I'm just kind of now going off of your cooking analogy. And in Ratatouille, the phrase in there was "anybody can cook," right? That's what the name of the book was. Anybody can cook, right? Even a rat can cook. Do you think that that is true with AI? Can anybody take AI and solve any problem that they have?
Hmm.
Can anybody cook with AI?
I do think anybody can, to some extent, cook, right? Like there are, of course, if you spend 1,000 hours on cooking, you will probably be better than most people. Uh, However, I don't think AI can solve every problem that's in a person's life. Uh,
Mm,
Especially it's around the area that's may some problem just don't have a solution. We have to admit, like
yeah,
some
yeah,
problem may not have a all rounded solution that makes everyone happy. So it's more about what do you want more, speed versus quality. Maybe you want a quality a bit more. So I think can help to make that clear. Like what do you prioritize? How do you value different aspect of the job getting complete? What's the best way they can suggest, but not necessarily is the key to every problem of a person's life.
yeah. I love that. So everybody can cook, but not everybody can cook as well, and not everybody probably should or wants to cook, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I do think AI brings the cooking ability to more families. Like analogy, like you're able
Yeah.
to code pretty much anyone if you're willing to. You can use Cloud Code to code or use something even simpler like Manas to get your application running. So that is something we indeed democratize to a lot more people.
Yeah. So that brings me to the next point. You and I are in the SaaS world. We've been in the SaaS world for a very long time. What do you think the future of SaaS looks like? And is the agentic era just another version of SaaS?
Yeah, this is interesting because over the weekend I'm still thinking about it. Like, what's the future of SaaS? Who use SaaS, and what's the moat in the future for SaaS?
Hmm.
I was really impressed by the cloud design capability. And then in the cloud design, you can pretty much point to any SaaS, like give me a interface like that. And then
Hmm.
you can share. In the share button, there's like hand off to cloud code, meaning it's like you have a design of the software, you ask cloud code to implement it. It's like you know finish the full circles of
Yeah.
full cycle of the software development. So in this world, it makes people question like, is the UI UX really the moat, or is something else would be the moat? Um, I do think things that other than the software, other than the proprietary, other than the like user interface, will be a long-term moat that software can build. Maybe access to proprietary technology, maybe the relationship between business and business, like the software business vendor and the business, access to certain people or resource would become actually the moat, versus the software itself become the moat. So longer term, I do think software are mostly used by agent. That's actually why we built expertise assist. It's because we
Hmm.
see a future where assist help you to manage all the software, and then you are more like an orchestrator, or assist is an executor, so help you to execute. So you can sit back, lay back, and doing things you want instead of going to 10, 15 softwares and get your job done. So that is the premise of what I think of future software are used by agent. Are the moat should be something other than the implementation and UI. Should be something access to proprietary resource, human data, something
Yeah.
more, uh, something more intangible. I would say.
Yeah, I definitely agree that the intangibles are going to be the moats. I think that, the intellectual property, if you want to call it that, that certain systems have in order to do things quicker, better, faster, more efficiently, I think that's going to be the key as we start to think about moving forward. I think that's going to be just awesome. But then this leads us, so we peel back the layer, right? So a lot of companies, they use SaaS software and they've got, you and I have done a lot of enterprise work. So you've got hundreds of people using a specific SaaS software to accomplish a task. And everybody, all these people are kind of basically repeating the same things over and over again with their own little basic twist. So what happens to people, right? Where does the future what does the future of work look like for humans when an AI agent can potentially do the work of 100 people more efficiently?
Hmm. That's a very interesting question. Like, it's a big question for society, right? Like, what if 50% of white collar job can be done by AI agent? Where does these 50% of human population do? Right? Like that's a very interesting question. I I think there's a that's a question need to be solved by government, and that in terms of what could happen, we can paint a picture in the future. Maybe the job we look at 20 years from now would be very different from the job nowadays.
Yeah.
Maybe the job that we think have little meaning or did not even imagine. Just think about 100 years ago, if they see people, if those time people see software engineers job, they're like,
Yeah, they would say, what in the world? Yeah.
what in the world are they doing? Like, are they doing like they should be farming? They should be like in a factory. They should do that. I think it's the same perspective that we would look at 20 years later. They were like, that's not real job. You sit there all day. It's not a real job. Maybe the same apply. You just do ABC all days. That's not real. Uh, but people perspective would change. Like, what's actual job or not? Maybe playing games all day as a job. It's a very legitimate job. Like, it
Yeah.
helps AI learn how human interact with game and the world. You know, so who knows? But I do think, despite we are going to see some job getting automated, there are going to be lots of new job get created. Not necessarily even replace the previous job or have anything to do with them, but it will be more interesting.
Yeah, I definitely think that things will be interesting. But just so that I'm going to double click on this again, uh, based on what you're seeing, um, we're not going to talk about the politics of it. We're not going to talk about the impacts of humans. But um, what is, how much, if you were just to look at the world that you see today, how much do you really believe that AI can do as it relates to white collar jobs today? Where's the ceiling? Where's the limit? You talked earlier about, we're already up to hours of work. I'm working for 8 days. Where's the ceiling on AI today?
Uh, I think it will be surprising, like what are the ceiling for different jobs. I don't have a good answer right now to where this world is going to be, like whether AI will replace 50% or 99% of the job. One thing I know is, um, with the current job, there are many things that's knowledge based, like maybe less human interaction, like what we are doing right now. It's
Yeah,
more like based on the fact you do a judgment, or based on what you have, you kind of generate more document, or generate more opinions. These are very much what AI is good at, like generating code, generating legal document, generating uh, uh, music, films. These generative in nature, open-ended especially, are going to be more actually replaceable by AI agent. Uh, in terms of judgment, I do think CEO as a job would be for a while, still here for a while, because lots of the CEO's time is spent on thinking and making decisions that would have a very long term impact. I don't think we trust AI on doing that, or we have the ability to AI have the ability to really comprehend what's going to happen if you make these decisions. The other one is more relationship driven, right? Like AE,
like
they
an
spend a
AE.
lot of time talking to the prospect, building relationship, building trust. That is not something AI can easily replace, because I think trust are still built by mainly human to human. But beyond these, lots of the job I think right now are prone to automation, especially if you don't touch the decision part and the relationship building part.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I feel like every time I call a company and I get a customer service rep on the phone who's a human, um, and I can't get my answer or my problem solved, I immediately think, I just wish there was an AI agent that would step in and solve this for me, right? And from my perspective, I see most customer service positions in a lot of organizations phasing out from AI because they basically read through a list of, here's my script, here's my products, here's my services, and then I ask what you want, I put together, and that's it, right? So I see that is totally replaceable, um, yeah, easily by AI. And me personally, like I can't wait to the day where more and more companies use it just so we can get better answers to get more things done.
Yeah, because customer service right now is more transactional.
Yeah,
You don't
very transactional.
talk to them like every day, right? Like building a relationship. I think that's more transaction, and you just want to get your problem fixed. Doesn't matter the other side is human being or AI.
Yeah, 100%. So, as you think about your vision for what you're doing with your company, um, what really excites you about the next few years?
Oh, that is I've been thinking about these every day. Like what's so exciting? I think
Yeah,
what's so exciting is I think one day I'm going to give my job to AI.
yeah,
That the AI can run my company and keep running it and making it drive towards the mission. Again, we want to use AI agent to represent the company, to be able to, you know, do transactions, talk to other AI agent, uh, talk to maybe AI run organization, building trust, uh, building transactions. So these are something like ultimately going to happen. And one day I know maybe down the road when AI get much more powerful, the CEO job can also AI can do a better job. That's going to be very exciting. Uh,
yeah. Your agent's going to talk to my agent instead of you and me talking.
yeah, yeah, and the agent can represent the company, like they are the
Yeah,
face of the company instead of like the CEO or the sales rep are the
yep,
face of the company. That's going to take a while, but eventually, to some degree, it's going to happen. So that's exciting. Just excited to see where AI now can only reliably maybe run for a couple hours, 2 3 hours at most. How that progression to how about that progress to a day to 2 days. I ask AI to do something, it come back a day later. Like here are all the things I have done. Here
yeah,
are all the progress. Just
yeah,
imagine that, like you come back in one day and you're very happy with the result. Or even later, like in a couple years, I can say, okay, AI, look, I want this project, this completely new project. Here is the resource for you. Here are the money you can spend. Here's my credit card. Do that for a year. A year later on, like it reports back, here is the thing I built. That's truly amazing if we can get to AI to work on a year-long project. So
yeah, yeah. And I would say not only just here, take my credit card, but take my credit card, and then it comes back and say, hey, you know what? I made you, a couple $1 million in the
yeah,
works, right?
yeah, I made you a couple $1 million. Uh, yeah, what could be more exciting is not on the company front, but on the scientific research part. When AI uh, are truly applied to all these scientific research like physics, uh, medicine, health science, and we will see a dramatic increase of how quickly we can develop drugs, solve this disease or even aging, um, get to Mars, maybe on the engineering side, and then utilize more energy. So these are some of the things we can never imagine before, or I never imagined could be solved in my lifetime, but could be greatly accelerated by much more smarter AI that can do research on its own. So I
Yeah,
think that's another thing I think very quickly we will live to see where AI doing majority of the research work, and every day there will be advancement in like big advancement in some fields. Um, just imagine like a million Einstein living in the data center, right? Like
yeah, yeah,
doing physics experiment all day, like a million Einstein equivalent in drug and chemistry, solving like healthcare issues. We will see progress a lot quicker than nowadays.
yeah. I agree. That is super exciting. And when I think about everything that's going on, I don't think that there's an industry that really isn't going to be majorly impacted from a positive way from the use of AI. I think about construction and even, the trades, you've got, tech and SaaS, you see that evolution happening. You talk about life science, the legal industry, like every single industry, they have the ability to start now leveraging AI to come to a place where they can solve problems and grow and scale in an amazing way. Man, how I am so glad that we had this conversation today. This was so great. One of the things that I always ask my guests at the end of the show is because I'm a big music fan. I love, love, love music. Can you give me a song that I should go and listen to later on today? Give me a song that I should go and pull up on Spotify and jam out to later.
Let me think. Recently, what did I listen to? I don't know if you know uh, uh, popular music app called Suno.
Yeah, I've heard of Suno, but I haven't listened to it. I haven't done a lot with it. Yeah.
So actually, what happened is a lot of people are actually uploading, lots of songs from Suno to Spotify, and because
Yeah.
there's monetization on Spotify, they can make money and
Off of that. Yeah.
off of that. So recently, I've been listening to uh, this music called A Million Color.
All
So
right. A Million Color.
yeah, A Million Color. That's actually very, very popular on Spotify. This is AI made.
Oh,
So
I love it.
yeah, you can listen on, I believe, Spotify, YouTube, uh, even TikTok. And yeah, this is a song I really like.
I'm gonna check it out, and that's awesome too. You're the first person on the show who sent me over to some AI generated music. I personally create a ton of AI music, so I've created like over 150 songs using AI. So yeah, I'm gonna check that song out, A Million Colors. Rock out to it next.
Yeah, awesome.
And this is a lot of fun. Thank you, Hal, and looking forward to having more conversations with you in the future. Take care.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kevin. Take care.
Yep. Bye bye.
And the harmony we create is everlasting. Thus, in this life symphony, we keep on dancing among flowers and colors. Our love is the echoing refrain. A million colors, but only one captivates me. And that's your essence, the reason my soul illuminates.